Hello, hello, hello. How's it going, everybody? How is it going? Okay, so oftentimes I like to come to you and share from a place of love and from a place of compassion. And then there are some topics that they just have to be shared from a place of tough love. Like it's just the only way that I know how to do it. And this is kind of one of those topics, okay? So let's get started. Today we're going to be talking about I'm not even going to tell you just yet because I just need you to hear this first part. Okay. Are you an overthinker, a worrier, overanalyzer, crippled with anxiety? Do you not trust yourself? This is something that a lot of people struggle with. And there's that quote that says, a mind too active is no mind at all. I forget who says that, but I think that quote is so true, right? We have this one precious life, and then there are people out there that are just overthinking and they're worrying, and they just spend all of their time in this space of suffering. Okay, so I always say, and I tell this to my children every single morning, we do a really quick little meditation, and I say, all of the answers you will ever need are inside of you, but you have to take the effort, make the effort to go deep inside to find the answers, right? Those answers are our knowing. There's our knowing, and there's the doing of what we know to be true, right? And all the suffering happens in between. So once you finally learn to love yourself, and when you love yourself, that means you trust yourself. There cannot be love without trust. So once you finally trust yourself, you trust the knowing, okay? And then the space between the knowing and the doing becomes much, 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 much shorter. The suffering is almost non-existent when you begin to trust yourself. And so that is why this next exercise is so important, okay? So there's this, we have two parts of our brain, right? We have our left brain, our right brain. There is this sensor that lives in our left brain, okay? That sensor speaks to us and makes us believe that what we are hearing is truth. It isn't the truth. That sensor is like an inner critic, okay? And it is going to say things to you like, what makes you think that's possible? How on earth do you think that you can do that? You really think you're going to be able to do that new job? You really think that you can run a marathon? You really think that you can memorize a 16-minute speech? Who do you think you are, right? That is the inner critic. That is the sensor. That is the part that lives in our left brain, okay? And Julia Cameron, who wrote the incredible book, The Artist's Way, she gave an example, and she said, listen, you almost have to think of that inner critic like a cartoon character, like a snake, like a serpent, like this slithering serpent that's like just telling you these things that you know aren't true, but that you are believing to be true for some reason, right? The serpent or the sensor uses terms for you like right, wrong, good, bad, right? Instead of just, here's what is true. Here's what we know. Like I said, it is not truth, and you must stop believing that the sensor is the voice of reason. And so how do we do that? You have to learn how to block the sensor. And we do that by morning pages or by journaling, okay? This is going to sound a little crazy. I get it. I understand. But it is that sensor is going to constantly, it's the first thing that wakes up in the morning, okay? And so that is why first thing in the morning, we already start thinking about all the things we have to do, and can we possibly get it all done, and are we good enough to do it all? And we we just wake up in that mode. And what we have to do is we have to block the censor. And the way that we block the censor is by journaling 3 pages right away. The first thing we do when we wake up. Listen, I don't want you to think that you have to be a writer to do morning pages. You do not. People think I'm a writer. I'm not a writer. I experience and I share. If I have something to share, I'm going to figure out a way to get it to where people can read it. Okay. But I do not wake up like craving to write. And sometimes, honestly, my morning pages or my journaling is like, I don't feel like journaling today. But you just have to write 3 pages and then tomorrow do it again. And then tomorrow do it again. It is a practice. And what is a practice? You have to think of it almost like a sport or like a professional athlete. It is something that if you want to get good at, you have to do it every day. You just have to commit to it. It is all about commitment. Anything that I've ever done in my life that has helped my life, that has improved my life, that has made my life better, it is because of a habitual practice. It is because of commitment. Okay. So, and the other thing, about this, so what it is doing, the best way to stop the censor is to first thing in the morning to write the morning pages, because what that does is it occupies the left side of your brain. So then the right side of your brain is able to start stepping forward. Now, what is the right side of your brain? The right side of your brain is more of your truth. Okay, it's more of your ideas. You're like, wait a minute. It's the things that make you, a little bit more excited, or it gets you to your knowing. Okay, but the left side of our brain is logic, and we have been trained, and that is why oftentimes our first, our second, our third, our fourth thought comes from the left side of our brain. That's why you have all the overthinkers and the worriers and the people that are colonized in fear and the people who are, living with just crippling anxiety. They live off of the left brain. They allow the censor to run their mind all day long. So we have to start to stop that. And the way that we do that is through the morning pages. You just have to write. You don't have to know what to write. You just have to write 3 pages. That is how we get to the other side. Journaling is what gets us to the other side. It's what gets us out of fear, because they get us beyond the censor. And it ultimately gets us to our center. It gets us deep down to our center, where our knowing is, where our truth is. It allows us to move past the censor, past the critic, go see the truth. And it then enables us to have, because we now can see the truth, now we have the courage and we trust ourselves and we can move beyond the fear. Okay? So that's what's going to lessen the suffering. Like I said earlier, you have what you know. And when you know something and you trust it, then you know what to do. And then the space in between gets much, much shorter. People live a life full of suffering because they just live here in the middle. And I don't want to live in the middle. I know that. And I don't want you to either. So it ultimately gets us to the center, which is where our truth lies. You want to be able to open up the right side of your brain. The right side of your brain is where your meaning and your truth is. And the morning pages, or the journaling 3 pages every morning, it trains your left side of your brain, the side where the censor lives, where the critic lives. It trains it after a while to step aside. Guess what? Every morning when I wake up, you're going to step aside. I'm listening to the right side of my brain. Okay? That's what it does. So by writing every day, you occupy the left side and allow the right side. You're just training it. I know this sounds crazy, but it's so true. It's like, in the past, we had to rely on the left side of our brain. Well, now we need a little bit more right side. And so we have to train the right side to come up to us first. Okay. The right side of our brain, this is also, I want to say real quick, for those of you, and we're going to talk about meditation later this week, but for those of you who have not meditation is real hard and you're just like, I don't know how to, I've tried and it's hard and I'm all over the place. This is a valid form of meditation, journaling is, and it is a great place to start. Okay. It gives us incredible insight. It gives us the power for expansive change. It guides us to where we're supposed to be next in the world. And like I said, it's a practice. It's something that we have to be committed to doing every single day, just 3 pages. It is, what journaling really is it is a pathway to our true self, okay? And it's basically a map. I mean, if you think about it, what I said earlier, what I say to my kids every morning, all the answers you'll ever need are inside of you. Well, if you take the very first minutes that you're awake and you write 3 pages, then you're taking what's inside of you and you're putting it on paper. Now you can begin to read it after several days and weeks of doing this. You can read what's inside of you, and now you have a map. Now you have steps. It starts to reveal what it is that you are actually supposed to do next. So this is how we get your inside on paper where you can read it and then you have a map and you know exactly what to do next. Okay? This is why journaling is so very important. It is a crucial part of healing. It is a crucial part of, because like I said, healing is simply self-love, and you can't have self-love without self-trust. And the best way to get self-trust is to actually trust your knowing. And how do you get there? You got to go in. And journaling just makes the in come out to where you can see it. And it just makes a little bit more sense. So I hope that that's helpful. And I hope that that encourages you to start journaling. Okay, just a few things real quick. The Artist Way tells you much more about the power of these this journaling practice. Okay, I'm going to link all these for you. And then I shared this yesterday. I'll share it again. This is my journal. This is what I do my 3 pages in every morning, or sometimes more. I think this morning I wrote 8. I mean, I'm going through some stuff, so I'm like, I'm really good. Like what's funny is I had stopped journaling for a couple weeks. And during those couple weeks, I got real anxious and I just wasn't myself. And since I started journaling again, things became real clear. And so I'm like, yes, I see what I need to do. Got this. I'm telling you, it is so helpful. And then what I love about this journal is I get these refills. And so these are all filled up, but I can just like put these on a bookshelf or something and nobody knows that they're my journals. But yeah, so they just are the refills. And then of course, my favorite pen, I love a gel pen for journaling. So I'm going to link all of that for you. And then we have a long weekend. It is Martin Luther King Day on Monday and all that. So isn't that the holiday? I think it is. But we are going to pick back up on Tuesday. All right. I hope that this has been helpful. And I hope that you will really realize that I understand that journaling is not the most fun thing. I don't like it either all the time. It's not about it being easy. It is simple. There's a big difference between something being easy and something being simple. And I just want to encourage you to really commit to it. It really, really will help you in your journey, and it will lessen your suffering. All right, guys, thanks so much. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time.